Welcome back to the USRR. I'm Premier Rever, and we're looking down at Cornassa as we usually start these episodes. Turn on my HUD again. So almost no time has passed since the last episode. I have gotten a few of your different comments, and one of them was about maximizing our food. So yes, I definitely want to keep an eye on that this episode. We mentioned it at the end of the last episode. So we'll see if we can't make sure that we're not exporting a little bit more of this so that we can stay busy. We got an extra truck on there. Wondering if we shouldn't get another one. Now, I did get a comment, and I'm a little bit, I don't understand it. The two trucks that are doing the exporting here are independent operators. They don't belong to a distribution center. So maybe there was a little bit of confusion. There is a truck that goes over here, and I thought, you know what, I want to check this. Thought this after I got done recording. Say the small shopping center, it's going to the grain storage, it's going to the food factory directly. But this is, I want this to be zero because this guy is going to unload at the shopping center. He has nothing to do with exporting, just so you know. I would consider getting, somebody to export, but I don't feel like it's complicated enough to really warrant paying the extra money for another distribution. So one of the things that this happens pretty regularly is, we don't have much money. I'm not going to not get a loan, but at the same time, I want to be very frugal in the things that we do, even if it means taking longer. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not going anywhere. Hopefully for not another 20 or 30 years, I might still have left on the planet. All right. So this, to me, I guess as you get a little bit older, you just don't rush every single thing in life. The other comment I got, and this one I don't really know the right answer to, I think it was Teapot said that he would build a bigger power line wherever I put my power line. Oh, there it is. All right, the power line here. I used the one that's 14. Let's see. Can we open this up? Yeah, this one here, the 14 megawatt one is the one I used, as opposed to using the 18 megawatts. And I would say, here's part of my confusion. If we come over here and look, first of all, if I do the math, and a megawatt hour is supplying, it's an amount of energy. It's not a rating. Like, in other words, 1 megawatt is an instantaneous reading of how much energy is being produced. A megawatt hour is how much you produced over the course of how much energy over a whole hour. That's usually what they charge you for. Well, maybe not megawatts at your house, but you get the idea. Kilowatts. If you divide 1,400 megawatt hours, that's per workday, right? By 24, you get 58. But then it says that the max wattage circuit breaker is 23 megawatts. So, which does kind of fit a little bit with that, right? Because if you said, well, maybe, like what they're allowing for is two separate, where we could, I could see it if I pick the thing, right? We've got two separate high voltage lines, right? And and then we have the smaller lines too. We have 4 of them. Maybe all of them added together gives you 58 megawatts, which is where they're getting the 1,400 megawatts from, right? 1,400, and then 1,400 divided by 24 hours would be 58. Well, fine, and you have a 23 megawatt circuit breaker. Well, on what, right? Is that on the whole thing? Because if it's on the whole thing, then you would never really need anything more than the 14 megawatts, right? Because 2 of those would be 28. You really could actually go to the 13, or even, the 10 would be a little too small, right? Because if you fully maxed out 2 14s, you wouldn't, you still wouldn't have maxed out this power plant. But so I don't understand what the 23, maybe somebody else knows exactly what that 23, see the max wattage, 23 megawatts. Does that make sense? So I'm not really convinced that using anything bigger would be better necessarily. Now, do they have the bigger lines because all of a sudden you have, other power plants, like our nuclear reactor here could do 78 megawatts. So now all of a sudden you've got the bigger need. And I would say this, as far as using this was the standard one that we've had for a long time before they added a lot of other ones. And I never had an issue with a coal power plant at that point. So I'm going to hold off on changing that just for the sake of, again, being a little bit cheaper. And I don't need to beat that to death either. If somebody knows, and I may look into it more, it's just not something I ever worried about overly much in the past, and it's going to be a really long time before we use all that up. And we do have another connection if we find that we want a bigger thing. But if somebody's more experienced than me, feel free to leave a comment. But I think we're in pretty good shape. Like I said, it's really no time has passed since the last episode, so all of the same questions we have around the crops, are they all going to get off the field, are still all going on, right? So we're still making food. I think the big thing is are we going to sell enough food to kind of justify, or should we buy another truck? Yeah, it's November. I say we wait until after the snow, and we'll do a little bit more designing, and then we'll have more time to fine tune and fiddle things while they're building here. We did, in case you missed the end of the last episode, we did start working on our distillery. So I absolutely do agree that the first priority should be to ramp up our food production, kind of maximize it, along with, utilize at least as much of these farms as we have going now, maybe even upgrade if we find the possibility. So I do agree. Let's get these industries going. But it doesn't mean we can't come over here and start designing. Like, none of this has to be built, right? And getting a power plant, getting gravel, getting those things going is, the next steps, even though they might be a few years away from our finances and our people. So that's the other side of this, is soon we're going to be producing a lot of people. So we want to keep our people productive, right? There's no sense in ramping up your people immensely and then not using them. And eventually they'll ramp up so much that we need a whole nother town. So let's talk about that, right? So the closest we have polluter is probably this over here. Let's make sure that's far enough away from whatever we do. So I'm going to come from here. Oops, should have clicked and dragged. All right, let's just go towards where we're thinking of doing the town. So there's, about 400 right there. I completely lost my spot. Yeah, I don't really like this measuring tool in particular. Like, how it works. Like, I think it should, I just let go and then it stays there. But if you click, it disappears. Like, I'm not sure. And then if you do this, then it's I don't know. I guess it makes sense if you're trying to follow a path, if that's the purpose of it. For me, I just wish it was just simpler, actually. So there we go. So there's where we're going to be 400. And let's just put a little road there just so we know. All right, so we don't want our town to be any closer to that. Let's look at our geography a little bit. Yeah, that's all sort of on the side of the hill, which is fine. This is a nice flatter area over here, right? Is that really all that flat? Yeah, do we get off into this flat area? Is that getting a little bit further away than we want? We definitely want to be kind of close to that power plant for the busing purposes. Yeah, I say we stay over this way, even though it's a bit on the hill. Let's see, where do we have these roads coming out? Yeah, I think I'll pick up with this road. All right, come right into this little bit of a valley, not valley, but crest, or I don't know, ridge. Yeah, it won't. Let's come straight off of here a little bit. And now it'll let me do a nice curve. Go straight there, right? So we're kind of running parallel to it. So if we level or whatever, we're sort of, no, this is downhill. So what kind of town are we going to make? I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I don't want to just do every town to be the same old boring thing all the time, which is sort of in my nature. You find something that works and you keep doing it. And I did do a circular town before. We could do, kind of a square town. Do we put people in the middle and then You know, maybe I'd do another circular. I did kind of like that, but then is that going to fit here that well? Not really. Let's start getting people the things that they need. So I think maybe we'll do the typical like downtown area first, like along this street. Then maybe we'll surround it with some houses, kind of make it fit into here a little bit, you know, as it would naturally. All right, so first we need a shopping center of some sort. So we have a small store. Yeah, I have these. I think are tiny itty bitty. I don't want to go with the tiny itty bitty. The bazaar, yeah, that's awful small too. Virtually, I don't have any great mods for that right now. All right, so I'll say let's put our shopping center right where it's sort of flat right there, and I guess we could probably level out a little bit of that. All right, we'll just sort of make a little bit of a straightaway, put all our things right here in a row, nice and creative. Yeah, grocery store, restaurant. Yeah, that would be nice, huh? Is that for tourism, I'm assuming? No pub. We do want a cinema, art gallery, television, radio station, and football. Now I'm thinking let's go ahead and take a small road cargo station. Or do we're going to do distribution. Yeah, let's do a distribution. So forget about that. So the next thing I want next to this guy, that quickly. No residences. Yeah, I guess the cinema can go next door, right? You're going to have to get a little bit wider. Cut into our hill a little bit there. And then not a beach. Let's do a tennis court in this town. Not that it makes too much difference. Because I'm picturing maybe putting the starter houses like up here on the hill. So like down here will be where they come into town and get all their stuff. We definitely could do 2 sports, but we can always build a second one later, right? Yeah, the indoor pool certainly could have a benefit. We'll see. Let's see how the town works out. Then we'll talk about more of that stuff. Well, we're definitely going to need these things. Well, why don't we take a road? Yeah, I think. I want to sort of set a bit of a level for the road just because it's not that far off of it anyway. Have that guy go down. That's where our sports thing is. Let's have another. Can we go up there? Too sharp of a turn. What are you talking about? Come on, I see you flashing green. Come on. Are you just flashing green to tease me? Come on. There you go. Yeah, so even though it's like a steep hill, it's, I don't think it's too unrealistic. So there we go. So now we have a bit of a way down for them in and out. So now let's take this and just level out a bit where we can put a few houses. Yeah, what kind of houses? Definitely, I think large Always like large. Yeah, and how about some fairly nice houses for these people? I should look at the quality. 96, yeah, 68. I'm not too hot on that. Yeah, that's a pretty nice big building there. Let me hit control so it doesn't. Yeah, you know, we'll put it right at the end of this road, the middle of that. Oops. Right, like that. And then we'll just attach this one road up to it. I should give a little bit of a count as to how many people we can hold. All right, so then we'll do another one like right here, maybe. It's about the same distance, I think. All right, so that's definitely enough people to get started. And what if we put a school and a kindergarten right there? Is that the way I want it? I might as well have it attached. I don't think it makes too much difference. As a matter of fact, it's kind of better anyway. I think where I like where those people walking things are. Connections. Yeah, boy, I think that'll be all right. Put them close to each other, even though I won't be able to get a walking path on the other side. I think that's kind of okay. All right, now I'm not going to do a university over here. And the orphanage, I did get a comment that the orphanage, when the parents die, is that really a big problem? I mean, I would think that at a certain age they would stop having kids. So how often really do workers who have kids die? If your average age is like 80 years old, are they having kids when they're 50? I guess I know that's possible, or 60. You know, like, I mean, it would have to be kind of some extreme, you know, just like in real life. Most people have kids in their 30s at the latest, or 40s maybe. And then they live past when their kids are out of the house anyway. I would think the same would be true here, right? So I don't know, is that just not true and the orphanage is vital and I just was never aware of it? Our population seems to be going up pretty nicely. I'm not too worried from that perspective. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, let's just take a look at all time. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's if we need an orphanage, I'm not feeling too compelled at this moment. You know, things are going pretty nicely, I think. Could definitely use a few more educated. It's kind of worrying me, but then I realize I'm not really passing that much time up. But I'd like to definitely see that number start growing more. All right, so what else do we need here? We got school. Yeah, no orphanage. Yeah, definitely going to need a fire station, which really, yeah, I would like people to be able to walk to the fire station. I think the fire station should be, you know, somewhere fairly close. Let's do it like here. I'll do control. You know, as a matter of fact, let's do, before I even put that down, I think I'll just level that out nicely. It's not real nice, is it? Yeah, why is that side? I wonder why that one's in further than here. Like, I understand that this is out because I built my road, and I'm okay with that, but why is it... Yeah, like, why did it let it go in further here, but not here? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Oops. Let me continue this out. Get rid of that snap. All right, so we'll get a firehouse in here. Wherever it is. Yeah, I think they'll be able to walk there. I don't want to jam it up too much. Do we want to put a hospital in first, maybe? Get the hospital a little closer to town. I don't want all these things attaching, so I'm hitting control just to stop that. Yeah, we'll put the firehouse next to it. We'll have a walking path eventually. And that should get built pretty quickly. Well, as soon as we have people here to man it. And I know I have done the busing thing. One of the advantages to putting our fire risk on our settings to low is, or normal, I mean, is that, yeah, we don't have to worry about that too overly much. All right, so yeah, university. I'm not going to do the university in this town, at least certainly not to get started, because we don't need that many educated. And once we get situated, we can always move people into. That's when we'll build our. What do you call it? The university residence. So we'll ship people over there to go live and get educated, and we'll just bring educated into this town. It's a little bit of a pain, but I'd rather not spend the money on another university just quite yet. We could always plan it out later, right? So how many people are we going to need over here? Well, the mines use a whole bunch, right? Let's go. Well, yeah. Let's finish one thought at a time. What else do we need? No university. Technical services. Yes, we definitely need. Let's get a couple small technical services, right? So I'm definitely going to want one to cover the road in and out of town. Let's put it here as sort of the marker for the end of the pollution zone, right? And then we're going to want another one. I think over here by the gas station might be good, and have this guy, be able to patrol everything over this way. Or do we put it, you know what, let's put it right over here if we can squeeze it in someplace. Well, that's just a fake railroad track, but I don't want to cover that space because I do want to have maybe railroads one day. One of my first railroads would be to go over to town and get this power plant with the railroad. All the stuff with railroads is better. Yeah, well, this guy's going to cover a good amount of that, so I guess this bus. Well, we could put it like right here, right? And then are we going to do? So why are you red? Oh, because I got the power lines right there. You go over here. There you go. That's pretty good. All right, so that'll give us a lot of technical services, and as important as anything else, it'll tie that in. So let's get rid of this road and then redo it. Now we do need bus stop. That's something else I forgot, right? Yeah, so let's do kind of like we did here. Bring this out a little bit straight. And we have an actual power line we're cutting through there. Yeah, it doesn't like coming off that super slight angle, does it? Yeah, that's ugly. Yeah. Save got me. Save is a wonderful thing, but it gets you every time, doesn't it? All right, so I don't know if the bus will actually go that way, but we'll see. Yeah, so as far as a bus stop goes, now when it comes to the power plant, I don't think I actually want a bus stop specifically for the power plant. But I guess that wouldn't hurt, right? Because I really almost want to just bus people right into it all the time. And really almost have like a separate bus stop up here in town to do that. Let's go. And we also have to take a look at our power as to what we've done with the substations. So, all right, let's see. So bus stop. I like the bus platforms. Yeah, and I'd like to find some other drive-through bus station, train platform. Yeah, let's just do. Small bus platform. I guess these are actually just better for people. You know, let's see. What do we have for bus stops that are? They both show up the same, don't they? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, maybe we just do a small bus stop. It will fit in here better. And we have power to it. That's good. Yeah, I don't want you to go that way. Just want to make sure it's close enough to these things over here, right? So like these two in particular. Yeah, it will be. I can see just from where it's telling me I have power connections. All right, now the trick with this one is to remember that that's even there, you know? Yeah, so let's see. I don't necessarily want to attach it, but I think I kind of almost have to. All right, because if I don't, we'll never deal with that. Uh-oh, here comes the snow. All right, so there we go. So we'll have a bus stop there. That'll be a good thing. And let's come over here, over this way, and see. So we have the power. You know what? Let me just grab an anything. All right, so there's our power thing. Let's flip over to this. I lost where the power thing was. Darn it. Right there. Okay. Right there. All right, so we're providing power up until this point, but we're not providing power to any of the stuff up here. All right, so yeah, we need to get it. Don't mind if it overlaps a little bit. Let's zoom out and see what that's getting us as far as, yeah, so it's not getting this gas station and it wouldn't get, yeah, that's all right. I don't think we're going to be able to get it all. So if we could put one in, yeah, like right there, I think would be pretty good, right? I think that's going to get, yeah, the only issue is it's sort of backwards when oops. All right, and then we need another one. Somewhere up here. And I go a little further. Yeah, did we cover that? Yeah, we covered all that stuff, so I don't really need to worry too much about covering that again. Yeah, let's go like right here. I won't attach it just yet. I think that would cover, you know, if I wanted to put in some more quarries, which we definitely will at some point pretty shortly. Go ahead and get, well, let's see. I think I want to just put in a switch. I think these lines would be big enough. We'll find out. Right, where did I put the other one? Darn snow doesn't make it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, these guys really aren't that far apart, are they? So let's go and medium voltage switch. I think I'll put it. I guess we put it up here. Yeah, no, did we not attach that guy with a conveyor? There you go. But now, so I think the power lines can go over that, but not the other way around. So let's see, can we get you? Yeah, there you go. Attached. Yeah. All right, then you can go to there. Yeah, that would need to come from this guy, I think. Yeah, we already have a line that's coming right past here, so let's just run another one so that, yeah, can we even make it so the poles are in the similar? place. All right, so that way our poles are kind of close to each other when it comes to where are we going to? Over here. So we can't go. Yeah, okay. Let's get rid of that and that. No, you won't let me pass there, will you? I'll put the substations down on this side of the road, and that'll make sense for a couple reasons. Yeah, let's go over this way until, yeah, I think we'll go to like right there. Now, what are you cover? Oh yeah, that's good, because if we can cover, you know, that'll cover everything we've done so far, which, you know, I'm not sure that that's totally critical. Maybe we go a little bit further this way, just in case we put more stuff. All right, because then what I'll do, yeah, let's come off of here. All right, then will you attach? Well, you know what? I'll move you so you can attach to that. There you go. Now, of course, it didn't attach because now it means it won't attach, right? Of course not. As soon as you put it down, it changes the rules. Yeah, it's going to do that to you where it just, there you go. Okay, so now it's attached. Good. All right, so what I also want to do, I think, is put a switch in because I could see ourselves needing more in the future. This one doesn't really even need to be that big. Let's do the 150. All right, and then we'll switch back to this. Yeah, I guess I'll run it. Let's run it out this way, like further away from where the town would be. Where is the... It's right there. So let's run it. Here and then over to there. All right, so we're attached on this side, and then this would be for like future use, but that'll get us at least power to get started. All right, let's go take a look. How's everybody doing? We're 99% happy. Our food is probably still backing up, right? Well, I think it is. Certainly these trucks are going to be going slower than molasses during the wintertime with the snow. Epidemic situation. Yeah, one of the things, I have been sick the last few days. So if I don't sound like myself in the last episode and this one, it's because it's just the cold medicine is keeping me afloat right now, you know. Actually, today I feel a fair amount better even before I took the cold medicine. And I just took the cold medicine to do the video so I wouldn't be too stuffed up or anything. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that, so we'll ignore it. Oh, look, we got our alcohol done. Yeah, so now we didn't do our bus stop, did we? Now, let's get that going. No, we never even did the road. I'm falling behind. Okay, well. Oh, and we never did this either. Yeah, let's go get that done, too. All right, I guess that means we should do these footpaths. That ended up 2 separate projects. Yeah, I don't really need that one at this point, but that'll give them something to do. I do need to keep an eye on that. But we're going to be pretty close to done what I intended to do over here, and then we'll have an episode or 2 of me just, of just progressing and doing the building and all that kind of stuff. So, but that'll also give you guys, if you have some comments on how we're doing this. Now, one of the other things I'd like to do is get an idea of the people that we're going to need over here. But let me take a real quick break, and I'll be back in 1 second. You guys hardly will even notice. Mostly all cleared out again. I could cough and a nose blow, and I'm ready to talk again for another few minutes anyway. So we'll see how that goes. It's sort of the story of my life these last couple of days. That and sleep. The first couple of days were just, I slept my butt off because I was just one of those, you go, I'll just take another little nap. And it was like, I just ended up sleeping for like 6 hours kind of thing. So I went around and I kind of added up at least the buildings I could think of, and maybe I missed one, but I don't think so, that we're going to need people. And I didn't actually add it up when I got done, so I should have. So we're going to need, the most we would need, I don't think we really need that many, would be the mines, or if we had coal mines, 660 people. So it's 220 workers plus times 3 shifts, right? So let's allow for that, because I do think that we would expand even if we don't, but I'm not going to overestimate too much more, because I'm counting 660 people to do the coal mine. And for now, that's just more than I think we need. So we probably need, another 400, 500, say 600 people. So about 1,200 people, plus we need a few for the town. So maybe 1,400 would be like the number that we would want over here. Let's go take a look at our residential building that we picked. This one holds 179 workers. So let's see what we can do to get a few more of them in here. All right, so right now we're only going to have like, less than 400, like 360 or something like that, 380. Now, one of the things I've liked to do in the past, let's go for a little bit more of a medium, where I can concentrate a couple educated people, right? So we can, when we bring our educated over, let's get the educated people, the most comfortable medium house. Iron Felix Monument. Now, what are you doing there? I don't know. But there we go. 97 workers. That's a good number. That should be plenty to do the hospital and the school. And again, I don't know that I plan on having a university. That's a pretty big building. All right, so let's see. We'll put this guy right over here. Again, I don't want all this stuff attaching, just so it's not too many separate projects. I might even redo the road shortly so that they're not all attached. But all right, so this will be a building. It'll be more people, but that'll be the building, because I think our school's all the way up here, but that's okay. They can walk. And then the hospital's right here. All right, so let's go put our geography back on, topography, I mean. Yeah, see, this is getting on the nice flat area here. So let's do, not necessarily matching, let's do another couple buildings like along this road here. Let's do like 3, say. Yeah, definitely large. Yeah, what do we have as far as modded ones go? We have the massive, my favorite of all time. I'll stay away from that one a little bit. All right, 180. Yeah, it seems pretty standard, like 170, 15-story. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? Now, does that keep people pretty comfortable? 87%. There's some brick flats. They're pretty nice. We could make our own bricks for those, possibly, right? How many does that hold? Some of this seems a little bit. 106. How does this one hold 179? And this one holds 160. It seems like these people are going to be a little bit more jammed up with that little building, right? 189. That's that is that lower. 91%. It's a little bit similar to those. Yeah, let's do that. You would think that in the Soviet they would have these things kind of standardized, right? You know, where they would have built similar, maybe not identical, but similar buildings. Yeah, the other thing, maybe we could turn. Yeah, will you fit in there with a? Let's put the road in. Let's just see what that looks like. Can I fit that in? Might even move this guy. Yeah, let's move this guy over a little bit. And then we'll do two of these kind of facing each other. Right, like this. Let me hit the control. A little bit further away so I can get a nice footpath in there. Let's do a little R action. All right, and then all right, so what's that? That's, let's just call it 200 a piece. I know it's not, but yeah, we'll call that another 600 people. So we've got, you know, about 1,000. So we're going to need a few more buildings eventually. I mean, I could put one, how about two right here? Well, let's do another kind. How many does this hold? 127. Yeah, let's do these at either end of this thing. Now, wait, can I get two of them side by side? I think I can. All right, let's make it so it's straight to the road. I'm not sure that the roads are straight, but yeah, I don't want you to be too close. I want to get a footpath in, maybe. No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see how accurate. Yeah, that's not going to quite work. We would do another one down this way. And squeeze one more in here. Yeah, well, I'll add those up after. If we build more, that's a lot of housing. That's a lot of people moving over here, and a lot of, you know, time we have to work on that to count up the number of people. But that should be in the ballpark of how many we need to get this town bustling and get a lot of people over there. We won't build all that immediately. Let me come here and delete some road and redo it just so we can. I guess I forgot to do my. I don't want these to be like 17 small projects, especially not because we're going to be building it from like far away. So the more full trucks we can have, the better off I think we're going to be. Full loads of gravel. So this, you just ended here. Let's do, can we do you a little bit nicer into town here with one? Not that it was bad into town, but yeah, so you're, that's sort of, there we go. Oh, now that's going to do that, huh? There you go. So that's just made that one project. I know I kind of split this into two projects, but that's sort of okay. And can I reattach you? That worked. A little surprised it worked like that. Well, there we go. So we have a little bit of a town going. I'm sure I'm missing something. Power. No, we got power, and I don't think power's right here, so we're pretty much in the center of town with power. I'll think about it as the episode ends here. I'm going to call it quits fairly soon. Like I said, I'm getting a video out today, and I'm going to rest, hopefully. and I think I'm doing better. I just need to get this thing put away. You know how it is when you have a cold. You just don't want to push it. Yeah, so we can actually probably bring the road down here. What is this? This is our technical office. Yeah, let's go take a look at town, see how we did. It is a few months later. Let's get rid of this topography thing. All right, so there we go. Let's, before we go look at town, let's just turn everything from being white, like planning, to, there's our power lines, and I think, yeah, we'll do the roads. All right, I think that's about it. I didn't put in many conveyors or anything, so there we go. So we have like a gravel industry here feeding into gravel into the things that need it, along with coal, and then we managed to hook up the coal. I think we have to put in one more conveyor over that way. Hopefully that works out pretty well. All right, but that road is in the way here. You remember? We have our power plant. That'll be, I think the only real debate I have is, do I do the power plant first or do I do the gravel first? I'm leaning towards doing the power plant first for two reasons. One, it's going to be a little bit quicker getting in here to build it. And two, it's going to have a pretty immediate impact on our money, right? Because even if we don't get the coal mine built, we could just import coal, and I think it's still profitable at that point for two reasons. One, we don't import power. And two, we are, we're just going to be, utilizing our people as much as possible. Because remember, those people cost you money when they're sitting around doing nothing or not being terribly productive. So it's not like people are free in the game. They're actually a fairly big expense when you add up all the things that you have to provide them. So there we go. So how did we make out here with our farm? We don't have anything on the fields. I guess I should have looked a little bit sooner to get a sense of that, but oops. Train station. Yeah, we're down to 63s. Yeah, we definitely used a lot of our crops. Now we're not producing anything there. We're not done this, but we do have some people working on it. That's good. It's good that we get to do this during the winter time too, because we'll be able to handle it versus trying to get over here and building. But let's go ahead and grab that guy before we. Let's assign him to do something over there, right? I see a bunch of trucks sitting around. Might as well get him working on a road, even though it'll be slower than sin this time of year. Right, he could work. Yeah, I think we're agreed we'll work on... We'll work on getting the power plant going first, which means building the city. So it's... But I'll get these two roads going, and we'll just start working our way. We got power lines. We got all kinds of stuff to build, but we have to get going over here. So I'll start getting the roads going in between the episodes, probably, since that's not too exciting. And let's just take a real quick look at our statistics, see how we did. Let's just look at last month. Yeah, let's look at this year, since we're in the end of the year. Yeah, population, we're up to almost 300 workers. Let's see what it says here. Yep, 287 workers. Only 73 with higher education. Now, we've got 73 here, so it is kind of starting to concern me. Why are we not graduating? Every time I look here, we have students. We just don't seem to really be graduating that many of them. But then every time I look, everything seems fine, so... We'll just keep an eye. Maybe I'm just not giving it enough time, right? See, look at that. Our educated is just dipping down further and further. Yet everything appears to be working as it should. So we'll see. And again, could it just be that we only have 42, yeah, we're really not, we don't have a huge number of 16 to 21-year-olds. So let's assume that that's our problem still. I don't see any reason to panic at this point. What else is there? Education, one thing I did notice and forgot to mention, government loyalty up to 29%. So definitely putting the second Lenin monument over here has boosted that up. And if you've noticed, we haven't gotten any of those notices there about citizens' loyalty being low. So that second Lenin statue seems to be doing the trick to get us up over at least not till we get that nag message going all the time. Seems like it put us right on the borderline of the warning, right? Which is kind of an annoying place to be in life. So there we go. Yeah, loyalty, happiness, health. Yeah, 91%. It's hanging in there. I think Radomir did confirm that the sports add to the health, and I think it's a very sound assumption that these are the things that add or take away from their health. So the fact that we get them the sports thing in the wintertime is the reason that we're a little tiny bit higher than we were before, or at least not falling like we were at one point. And then happiness is pretty good, 100%. It's all you need, I guess, right? Awful cold here, and we're not getting any messages, or we haven't been getting any messages about losing production for our heat, which is great. Yeah, so what are we working on with our thing here? Like, why aren't we sending a guy out to here to work on that? Oh, because we're probably... No, we have... like, why isn't our bulldozer out there finishing those footpaths? Right, we have the truck, the open haul, even though I have this checked. Is it because... What is this guy doing? Where are you going? Oh, so you are going out to the footpath. I don't know. I mean, does that make any sense? I have deliver mechanisms only, and then he's driving there. Oh, there's our backhoe. Well, what is... I'm a little confused. Are you really... Oh, they got auto... Ah... I know what the problem is. I never turned off the auto search, so he searched all the way over there. So these guys drove all the way there in the snow, right, just to go do that. And block those other guys from going over there and doing it. Well, there you go. Well, we do have some of the things, and we do have to talk about getting more of the things over here. Now, somebody made a mention of, there are people that have taken the challenge of building everything yourself, and it's like, to me, that's not a challenge. That's just the way I play the game, right? If it is more challenging, but I don't know if I would play it if I auto-built everything, in other words. And then as far as the from the border shipping, yeah, I mean, I could see where that's... I could see where that's beneficial, and certainly would be a challenge to drive everything from the border into the area. Is that cheaper or not? Because either way you answer that question, it's like, well, if you're saving yourself some money by doing that, then it's not really more of a challenge, right? I mean, you do have to buy the trucks in the beginning, but other than that, it's made it easier because it's saving you money. Then if it's not saving you money, then it's a penalty. So I really don't personally mind that somebody would come and deliver us stuff here and that they're charging us money, right? So it's... I don't know. I don't see where that changes the challenge that much in a way, So there we go. So, and I've been doing this now since literally the day the game came out, as far as building everything with all the construction offices. So we'll see what happens with that. But here we go. So, let's take a quick look at our economy. And we'll just take a look at last month to see how it went. So we weren't plus, we were minus. Why were we minus? Steel. It's always the steel. It must have been building the distillery, I think, which is good. So we'll get that distillery. Hopefully we'll get our money back. Yeah, remember we needed a lot of bricks for the distillery, so that cost us a fair amount. This month we are... let's go back. I want to look at this month here. Yeah, so this month we're still in the negative because we're building some things. Let's take a look at this year. So this year we made $25,000, mostly in food, right? We sold those crops right at the beginning of the year. So the good news is that we're making a little bit on that. Next year should be even a little bit better, but we're still way behind in the sense that we were minus $121,000. We're pretty much at the end of the year anyway. So we have a lot of room to make up because we didn't really even do that much building, I don't think, this year. Not like we would like to, not like we have planned out here. So in the near future, I kind of see a loan in our futures, but we'll see what happens. Let's see if we can ramp this up a little bit. We also need to keep an eye. How is our people? Yeah, nobody's even in that house yet. This one's barely got only a couple. Yeah. Yeah, so only 2 of our houses here are actually full. So we still have some time as far as, before we would really want to move people over to here. And we could always build more housing and whatnot over here if we wanted to. Though right now we don't have that much more industry. Right, we have, well, the food could use a lot more people. And the distillery could use quite a few people too. But we don't really have that big of a farm system set up either. So, to me, this is really just, at this point, the starter town. Get everything going. Not that I would ever get rid of the town, but certainly in the long run, this was just the beginning. All of this could be considered temporary, way of getting started. Same thing to some degree, even with what we're doing over here, could be not temporary, but, this stopgap, right? In the future, I could picture us doing bigger, fancier things, potentially. So there we go. So, yeah, we're not making enough money, but we are making some, which is good. And our population's still growing. People are reasonably happy and healthy, and getting a few more unemployed than I would like. If I could see that our population, one of the reasons, well, a lot of reasons, but, keeping an eye on the professors and how many educated we have, one of the reasons for doing that will be because I do want to take off all of these. These guys are being set to the bus platform. I guess I can undo that, right? Yeah, let's take these off, and I don't think anything particular bad will happen. No, that'll make sure that those educated people aren't forced to the bus stop, that they can go over here if they want to work there. And now we are maxing out the students almost. Let's say, give it an extra shot of them, like 10 as opposed to the 5 professors. See if that helps, because I definitely want to get our I do want this to be a center of education, so I can pump some extra educated people over into here to get started before we build a university or other things over here. Good. Well, there you go. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and a good New Year, by the way. I think that this will be going out on New Year's Day, so I hope you didn't celebrate too hard last night. Or if you did, I hope you had a lot of fun, and it's worth paying the price, right? Anyway, take care, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.